Hello and welcome everybody to another Artymous film. This one is exclusive to anybody on my mailing list about drawing eyes. You will already have received a worksheet that gives you the basic steps towards drawing an eye, but if you follow this video, I'll go into a little bit more detail for you and you can draw and follow along with me. First of all, draw 2 concentric circles that will represent the iris, and then start with your arc shapes above and below the eye, cutting off part of the iris. It's very important that you cut some of it off because nobody ever looks at you with the whole of their iris showing unless they're extremely shocked. So you need to cut the top or the bottom or both off with your arcs over the top and bottom. Then draw a parallel line across the top that represents where the fold of the eyelid is, and any light points that you can see on your photo that you're following or the person you're looking at. Then add in the little tear duct at the bottom. It's just a circular shape and you're following the edge of the eyeball for that line. If you then take a 2B first of all to shade in the little bit of darkness that you will see in that fold with the eyelid, just work from a darker point to a paler point, using the side of your pencil and blend the tones together. Then add some tones in the creases underneath the eyelids and around the skin around the bottom of the eye. Basically, you need to imply here that the eye is a complete ball shape, so put in your shading to kind of accentuate the fact. Then start colouring in your iris. So work in a radiating pattern out from the centre where the pupil is, still with your 2B. It will help to move the paper around as you go to get a straighter line. Do the same from the outer edge to the inner edge, working your way around, turning your paper as you go. Then start using a different pencil, a darker pencil. If you've started with, say, a 2B, then start working with a 4B. And do the same again, work in from the outer edge of the iris inwards and create some darker tones. Sharpen up the edges of the shape and also work in the radiating pattern as well. Do the same with the inner edge as well. Always working around your light points, leaving them alone. Then again, move on to a different pencil, even darker, maybe a 6B, and do the same again, just blending in and making more layers and giving the iris a more 3D effect. Always work in that radiating pattern, always follow the layer before and just work up those darker tones. Then again, do the same with the inner level, making sure to keep away from those light points that you've made. Then begin to work on the eyeball itself. You will be tempted to think that you need to leave it alone because it's the white part, but it does have shadows upon it based on the fact that there is an eyelid around it. So work in with a bit of cross hatching into those shadowed points where it touches the eyelid. Then you can start working in with the pupil in the eye. Work with a very dark pencil at this point because you want to go as dark as possible with this area. It is the darkest point in the drawing. Again, if you want to use that dark pencil to pull in some more radiating patterns, then you can do. I'm also using this pencil to just sharpen up some of the extra dark areas in the rest of the eye, including the tear duct and along the eyelid. Remember with that bottom eyelid that it is a 3D thing, so you need to create an edge along the top of it where your eyelashes are going to come from. It helps to go back in and tidy up with an eraser. Sometimes you can get your lighter points a little bit sharper by going back in and using your eraser as a pencil and creating white areas again, just to clean it and sharpen it up. When it comes to eyelashes, always work in a pattern that moves from the tear duct out to the other edge of the eye. Never go perpendicular, never draw straight lines in this area. Start in with your 2B pencil, creating those lines. and then build it up with other darker pencils as you did with the iris, just to build up some texture and some depth. And there you have it, you've got a human eye. Well done! So I hope that has helped you draw eyes more easily, and I hope that you will now have a look at some of my other videos and learn some more, and hope that we can get to know each other through your artwork.